Join me as I spend a night with a homeless man who's been haunted by faceless beings. Can I handle the fear and uncover his story? Imagine being on the streets, with no home to call your own, no family to turn to, and no escape from the darkness that lurks in every alleyway. For one homeless man, this is his reality. But it's not just the harsh conditions of living on the streets that haunt him. It's the faceless beings that seem to be watching his every move. Fear is a constant companion for this man as he struggles to find a safe place to lay his head at night. He's learned to sleep with one eye open, always on the lookout for those faceless beings that seem to appear out of nowhere. The loneliness is suffocating, and the weight of his isolation is crushing. No one believes his stories. No one wants to listen, and so he's left to face the darkness alone. Every day is a fight for survival, as he scrambles to find food and shelter in a city that seems to have given up on him. The sounds of the city, the sirens, the car horns, the chatter of pedestrians are a constant reminder that he's invisible, that no one cares about his plight. And then there are the faceless beings, always lurking, always watching, always waiting for their next opportunity to strike. The man's eyes are sunken, his skin is weathered, and his spirit is broken. But deep down, there's a spark of defiance, a determination to make it through another day. He's learned to adapt, to find ways to cope with the terror that grips his heart every time he sees those faceless beings. But it's a fragile existence, one that's constantly threatened by the unknown. He's seen them in alleyways, lurking in the shadows, their featureless faces a blank slate of malevolence. He's seen them in abandoned buildings, their presence making the air thick with an unholy energy. And he's seen them in his dreams, their faceless visages haunting him even in his sleep. The encounters are always intense, always terrifying, and yet he's learned to function, to survive in a world that seems determined to destroy him. One encounter stands out in his mind, a night when the faceless beings seemed to come closer than ever before. He was huddled in a doorway, trying to escape the chill of the winter night, when he felt their presence around him. The air grew cold, the darkness seemed to deepen, and he knew they were there, watching, waiting, wanting to claim him as their own. He tried to run, but his legs were frozen in fear, and then, just as suddenly as they appeared, they vanished. The man was left shaken, his heart racing, his mind reeling from the terror of it all. But that encounter was different, more intense than any that had come before. It was as if the faceless beings were trying to make a point, to drive home their presence in his life. The man was left feeling vulnerable, exposed, and yet he refused to give up. He refused to let the fear consume him, to let the faceless beings win. It was a turning point, a moment when he realized that he had to fight back, to take control of his life once more. The man's story is one of courage, of resilience, of the human spirit's ability to overcome even the darkest of circumstances. But it's also a story that highlights the broader issues surrounding homelessness, the isolation, the fear, the feeling of being invisible. As we watch the man's journey, we're forced to confront our own fears, our own prejudices, and we're reminded that homelessness is a problem that affects us all. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of darkness. If you've got any thoughts on the story, please share them in the comments below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more intriguing content.